All right. So, welcome to the first episode of Gym Game. And what I'm going to be basically explaining here to you is, well, during this series, is basically kind of the fundamental, not even just the fundamentals, but just how muscle, like how the muscles and how to build muscles and how everything works when it comes to getting in the gym and everything you need to know to actually see results, right? This is the big thing, right? So first off, this is what we're going to be learning about first, right? This is why you're not seeing results in the gym, right? A lot of guys ask me this. A lot of dudes are always like, "Hey man, like, what do you eat? This and that. Oh, what workouts do you do?" And it's not particularly the workouts I do. All right, it's how I do them and much more. It's really about the fundamentals if you really want to kind of break it down to its simplest point. Okay. But my first point, you're not really going to the gym. And you're probably going to be thinking like, yeah, I do go to the gym. How often? What days? What do you hit? You know what I'm saying? That's how. This is one of the biggest things. This is like the first question I ask, or like not the first question, but what I end up telling everybody when they start asking me all this stuff. What am I doing wrong? What do you do? Real. What are you doing in the gym? This and that. It's like it's not as much as that. As much I go to the gym. I have a plan, right? I'm not just going to the gym. I'm going to the gym to work out, to improve. So the first thing I usually always ask when somebody asks me, like, "Oh, how do you do it? What days do you go to the gym? How often?" I go, "Oh, I went yesterday." That's a bad answer. Because you saying, "Oh, I just went yesterday," that's not exactly, well, I guess right? But yesterday is not a good answer. You should have at least 2 to 3 days out of the week, at like beginner level, right? I mean, I only do 3, but that's like beginner stuff. You should at least be going 2 to 3 days out of the week if you want to see results fast too, right? And so you just saying you went yesterday, like don't, like, bro, you have to be consistent with your gym, with your gym dates, right? Or your gym plan, right? Consistent gym plan, right? And this can be different. This is different for everybody, actually. So I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That could change. And a lot of people, they might work one Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They feel like going. So they could go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or they could go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Whatever, really fits your schedule or floats your boat. But, you know, but yeah, that's the big thing is that you have to have some type of schedule, okay? Something that you can stick to, because that builds consistency. And now, don't beat yourself up if you miss one day, okay? But just remember the next week, get back on the ball. Or even if you miss that week, get back on the ball. Get back to the plan. You know what I'm saying? Stick to it. And yes, it might be a little much right at first because you're doing something new, but that's the only way you change. Okay? That's huge, man. So yeah, make sure you have a plan, dude. Don't just think you're going to the gym. And really, and when I say you have a plan, right, you also have to say what are you hitting that day? What muscle group are you hitting that day, right? Right. What muscle group are you hitting that day? Chest, back, thighs, chest, triceps, shoulders, legs. You know what I'm saying? You gotta group them together. Okay? That's something because that helps you focus on that part for that day. And then when it comes back around next week, boom, and fully rested up, boom, back on, back on the ball. Or should I say, you're back to the grind. All right, and I'm telling you, you'll see great results. I've talked to the guys that I've actually taken personally to the gym, and I literally just this. I just made them consistent for a few weeks. Right, I would go 3 days of the week out of the week with them, and then I would tell them like, what are we hitting today? What are you trying to hit today? What do you usually hit today? They'd be like, oh, we hit chest. We do that for 3 weeks. Guess what? Bro's like, yeah, bro, I got this stretch mark here. You know what I'm saying? I got this vein popping out. It's really that simple. I'm telling you. And that's not even a month. You get what I'm saying? So really this is why it's number one. This is the first thing you gotta do. So you really gotta stick to that. And then I'm telling you, you'll see the results. But on to the next. Alright. So they're probably like, why does he got suck? Yeah, I forgot. I literally bought a whole pack of markers and this board, but I literally forgot to get an eraser to go with it. Like, I can't believe myself. All right, number two. This one's a big one. Right. You're working out too much. Now this is pretty much the opposite of what the other one is. You're not working out enough. This one is you're working out too much. And you're like, what? How are you gonna say you're not working out enough and then you're saying I'm working out too much now? Well, here's an example of what I mean by this, right? And that example is that there's something called diminishing gains. Right? And what is diminishing gains, right? Diminishing gains is basically, to dumb it down, it's basically when you overwork your muscles to the point where they can't grow stronger, but they just focus on repairing themselves in order to just be functional, right? So it's more of like you're doing more damage than building. Does that make sense? Doing more damage than building, right? Because building muscle really comes down to self-love and care, self-respect. You basically respecting your body. That's really what it is, right? You know, and in order for you to grow, there has to be some type of how do you say damage, or not necessarily damage. Damage is a little harsh, but there has to be some type of change, some type of pain, some type of tear, right, in the way that your muscle, according to your muscles, you have to tear your muscles, right? You have to tear those fibers in order for them to grow bigger, because they're just going to stay the same if nothing ever changes. And in order to inflict change, pain is kind of the thing. That's why they say no pain, no gain. That's the whole point of that whole phrase. You know what I mean? So you really have to focus on that fact about when you're working out, is you actually work out too much. And this is another thing I want to put on here, is moderation, dude. You're not Ronnie Coleman, okay? You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're on all this gear, right? And by the way, just so you know, I preach the natural way of going about things. If you're on gear, I don't necessarily hate you, but don't try to claim natty, because I can spot you from a mile away, and you kind of cheated. Nobody likes cheaters, right? So, yeah, this is for the real lifters, the natty lifters, you feel me? And if you got a problem with that, hey, there's a bunch of non-natural lifters that you can go and watch, and you can go and follow them and do their thing, okay? That's on you. Over here, we're about actually mastering our bodies and understanding how they work. All right? So, yeah, these are two big things when it comes to diminishing gains, and just you possibly, more than likely working out, because usually it's always one or the other. Somebody's going to do a full body every week, or not every week, but every other day. Like, dude, relax. You know, what do you eat? You know what I mean? Are you focusing on your recovery? They don't even, you know what I mean? There's so many steps you're missing, and that's why you're not seeing any real change. You get me? So, really, you gotta watch out for that. Really gotta watch out for that. I'm telling you. Alright? Take a rest day. Eat some shit. Alright? And I'm not saying that because I'm black. Okay? Moderation. I'll write one more thing on here. Just because I got it on my card over there. And that is not allowing your body to rest. Okay? Which really just ties into moderation and just preventing dementia gains, right? Oh, you really just focus on rest. That's huge. Like rest is actually more important than you think it is. Even on your rest days. Like, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Your rest days, you need to rest and you need to still eat your daily calorie limit and all this and your macros. And you'll see incredible differences. Alright? And when I tell people all this, they're looking at me like I'm crazy a lot of times. Except for some of the guys that get it. There are some guys that actually have went through they're at my level, should I say, right? And they're like, oh, you actually know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, because I actually went through the bullshit. I've been skinny fat. I've been not necessarily fat. Been big fat or big. What does it say? Like husky fit, some type of thing for football, and then then I went from that to fairly fit, and then I went to fit, and then I went to aesthetically fit, which is where I'm at right now. I kind of like being in this spot. You know what I mean? This is where I'm at. So when I'm telling you all this, I'm telling you all this because I literally went through all of it. Like, no bullshit. I went through all of it. So I'm literally helping you get around all the things that slow me down, okay? And I'm telling you, if you stick to this, you will see change. All right, 3. All right, and these are just the basics, all right? There's still more, but you get that in another video, all right? I can't have this video being like 10 hours. Fucking, I ain't trying to record for 10 hours either. All right, this one's a big one that I see a lot. Bad advice and influences. That's supposed to be, I swear. Influences. I think that's right. Correct me in the comments. Alright, but bad influences, man. And some of y'all are probably gonna be like, oh, what's a bad influence right now? Right now. Well, shit, I can tell you off the top of my head. Freaking, what kind of bad influences? What do we got? What is the issue? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Why? Who's my bad influences? Who's giving bad advice? A lot of people like to take advice from people that don't walk the talk. Right? And what do I mean by that? I mean like somebody that does not do what they say they do, right? They what's that other saying? Do they what is it? I can't remember. It's something about preaching, right? Do they do what they preach or something like that? But it's basically, do you walk the talk? You know what I'm saying? Do you walk the talk? All right. And so, for example, I have somebody, I know a few guys. They're always telling me about, oh, this person said I can't do this. Who's this person? There's like, yeah, I can't fast because it's gonna hurt me. I was like, where do you get this information from? It's not gonna hurt you. He's like, well, my mom said, and I was like, Mom, did she go to the gym? Have she ever went to the gym? He's like, well, she used to when she was like younger for a little while. I was like, for a little while. What's a little while, huh? For May on and off throughout 1 year or something like that. He's like, well, yeah, kinda. I'm like, dude, how often do I go to the gym? He's like, you go really often. I'm like, yeah, how long have I been going to the gym? More than 10 years I've been going to the gym. And this guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and you're taking advice from somebody that doesn't go to the gym. He's like, well, that's my mom. And I'm like, and? Okay, how about this? Would you take advice from a bum on how to get rich? Even if that bum was kind of rich at some point, or he was making some money at some point, he's not doing it no more, so that must mean that he actually didn't truly figure it out. You feel me? So why are you taking advice from this person? It's only going to lead you to, they only can lead you to the end of the trail, or the destination that they've went to, right? So if they're not walking the talk, they're just talking the talk, okay? Don't fall for it. That's one of the biggest things I can't stand when I'm telling, like when people are asking for advice, I give you the greatest advice you could ever want, and then you listen to somebody that doesn't do what I do. I can understand if it's somebody that, like a personal trainer or something, because usually they do give you some pretty decent information, but shit, my information is better, so. You feel me? So, don't do that. Stop doing that. And then influences, right? This is pretty much kind of the same thing as, like, you know, they don't walk the talk, but this is more of not thinking for yourself, right? Or not thinking it, or not thinking it through, right? Or sticking to the process. Which, you know, it still kind of ties into this, right? But this is just more, a little more in depth of like how. Now, let's say the mainstream fitness, right? Mainstream fitness, everyone's talking there, 7 days a week. You know, you gotta eat 500 calories a day or whatever. That's extreme as fuck. I can tell you that right now. Like, I'm like, dude, I can do it, but it's like, at that point, you actually are going to hurt yourself, because just because you eat less, just because you're trying to lose weight doesn't mean you need to fucking only eat like a fucking protein bar in that day to lose weight. Losing weight is actually much more simple than you would think it is. And you'll see that in a future video. But yeah, a lot of these mainstream guys are like they're telling you what to do, and you're not really thinking it through, because all this shit I'm telling you, you can look this shit up. You really can look all this shit up, and you can see, you can get all the scientific facts. Am I gonna go that deep into it? No, because I know there's some people that probably can't grasp it when it's that complex. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to grasp it too, because that shit, if you wanna get to this real deep science, you gotta look it up, all right? Because even trying to explain that, I'm not explaining that. I would need a bigger board to do some shit like that, okay? But you really can look up everything that I'm telling you, and you can find that this is sound advice. But then you got some of these mainstream guys, they're like, oh, you know, the only workout you ever need, or you need to work out 7 days a week, or you need to take this pill, or this medicine, or this, you know, Ozempic and all that shit. Which I'm not saying that some of those things might not kind of work, but there's a big thing that I don't like, that I really, really hate, right? And that's shortcuts, right? And that's you know, beware of shortcuts. But shortcuts through knowledge. In knowledge. It doesn't say that. It's something along those lines, right? But we beware of shortcuts of knowledge, right? Or in knowledge, either way. And so, what that basically means, right, is that a lot of people are always looking for a shortcut. Ozempic. Those ab machines, the shake weights. No, I don't know why. I can never do that again. Those dumbass shake weights. What else? What is it? I think there's like massages at some point and all these weird things that they always try to freaking kind of sell you, right? Oh, if you take this in 10 days, you'll be just like me. No. It's not how this shit works, right? If you take shortcuts, one, people will know, so you lose respect, right? We like to be respected around here, okay? We don't like that dumb shit that niggas be trying to, no, okay? No. Don't be this guy, I got liposuction, like these chicks be getting, right? Oh, I got liposuction, and then you get fat after. Don't, you see what I mean? Like you're trying to cheat your way to success. And you'll be successful for a fucking year, right? You'll look good for a year, and then you don't have the natural habits and, systems and things in place that actually prevent you from falling back into those old ways. Or your normal ways, because you never made it. You faked it. You know what I'm saying? That one saying, fake it till you make it. No, that's not real. You fucking take action until you make it. Okay? That's how this shit really works. Alright? Especially in the fucking... Alright? So, please be wary of this. Alright? This is another thing that people always kind of fall towards. Like, oh, I eat this certain type of thing. Not this. It's real. You're just overcomplicated. Alright? And the people that are telling you this are just trying to get maybe something out of you, or they just don't know what they're talking about. Okay? So be careful. Now, to end this off, right? I'm gonna leave y'all. Alright, we gotta get an actual eraser, dog. We will, though. Did you? Oh, shit just fell on the floor. I'm gonna leave y'all with basically kind of a mindset shift, right? Well, not necessarily a quote, but more of I forget what the actual term you would use for this, but shit escapes my mouth. Consistency isn't perfection. Okay? Right. Consistency isn't perfection. And I used to get stuck in this too. I used to think, oh, I missed one day, oh, it's over. New Year started up, shit, I went for the first week, second week, I missed Monday. Oh, might as well give up, right? And, through actually taking action until I made it, right? I learned that this is truly what you should focus on. No matter if you fall off that horse, get back on. If you trip and you fall, you get back up, right? That's how winning's done. That's how you make it, always. So, be consistent.